Say hello, Charlie. So, if you can't tell, am holding Charlie, and he's not wanting it. But I'm just here to give you an update. I have a daughter that is in the camera, and she can't help it. Um, I just wanted to come on here and let you all know everything going on with Charlie. I get a lot of questions about him, so I figured I would, now that I tried to go to the specialist this morning, um, I'll start from the beginning of today. Well, really last week. So Charlie's been having ongoing issues that just with his ear that can't seem to clear up all the way. And I wanted to get him checked out by the specialist. Cindy is being mean to Charlie at the moment. That's my 17-pounder, if you don't know. But so Charlie, it was suspected we saw something in his ear that was kind of blocking the ear canal by the vet that I work with. Because he was being so wiggly, it was really hard to be able to tell if Charlie has a polyp in his ear or just a malformation inside the ear. So today when I took him to the vet, it's supposed to be Greater Atlanta specialist. I realized the appointment was not with one of the specialists. It was just one of the regular vets. But so I was a little disappointed in that. But I understand that you have to have an appointment with the vet, and then you can get on to the surgery stuff as needed. I'm going to end up hitting you in the face, baby. I almost whacked her because I talked my hands. But come on, baby, you're distracting me. So they looked in his ear on Monday when we had checked his ear. He had debris in there, but no pus. We did an ear swab. There wasn't any infection. It was just a lot of debris. And that's twice now in a row that he didn't have any infection, no yeast, no mites, no bacteria. So we get there today, and he's got pus all in the ear. Because Monday we couldn't see all of his eardrum, the medication I had been using, the label says not to use if the eardrum's not intact. So we didn't want to risk putting it in. And I knew I was going to the specialist today. And yes, hello there, everyone. Yes, the freeway kitten, highway, technically, Highway 92. But yeah, so Charlie, he's been having a head tilt for about a month and a half, discharge from his nose. Here we go. Yes, he's a kisser. He prefers the right shoulder. But so just Monday there was no infection. Today there was infection. They couldn't see the eardrum. They couldn't tell if there was a polyp because there was just so much inflammation, which is frustrating since the last 2 times his ears were checked, there wasn't any of that. And I am a registered vet tech, and I was working with the vet. We both looked at it. We both knew there was no issues. So we didn't really get any answers today on if he could get surgery or not because they said the infection was in the way. And they didn't clean out the ear to look more. For me, it's hard as a vet tech handing over my cat to other vet techs and doctors and just going on what they're seeing. I'm very hands-on. I want to be there. I want to be asking questions as they're doing stuff. I have fur all over my face. So it's hard. The way a lot of vets in this area work, because I'm not vaccinated. Many of you know I have had COVID, the Delta variant, but I am allergic to vaccines. So I can't risk it. I've had 2 vaccine reactions. I can't have Benadryl. It's not on the cards for me. And my doctors tell me I'm one of the candidates that cannot get it. So they wouldn't let me in the clinic. Apparently, if you can show your vaccine card, you can go in the clinic. So a little hard for me. And he never actually was seen by any of the specialists. There's new medications to try, stronger. We're going to do oral antibiotics and ear medications all at the same time. They're stronger than what we've done before. If you know cat medicine, we've already done 2 rounds of Clavamox and a month of clindamycin orally for oral antibiotics. And then he's had Tresederm and Zymox for his ears. So nothing has, it seems to kind of subside for about a week, the issues, and then it comes right back. It just starts building. And for the last month and a half, Charlie has had the head tilt. I hate to say it, I do laugh because when he goes to jump, he doesn't always jump straight towards what he's aiming for. He kind of goes to the side. He doesn't get hurt though, luckily. But so we're just, at this point, they want to do a recheck in 2 weeks and see if the infection has cleared. If you can hear any of the thumping behind you, here, just grab that. He loves his carrier. So right now, he is trying to get back in it. This is where he is. He's just laying in it. But so that's really his update. He's at about 8 months old, and he still has the weird hump to his back. Since we knew that he would probably have to be sedated for the polyps, we've been holding off on doing the x-rays to check his spine. I'm not a big fan of sedating. There's always a risk of sedation, and to get proper spine x-rays, you have to sedate or have a very mellow cat. Now that I know that the happy cocktail that I gave him this morning for his vet appointment works, he can probably have that instead of being sedated for spine x-rays, but he will need something because he does not like restraint. He has now actually ripped 2 towels with his back feet. His little 8-month self body is super duper strong. So let's see. They should do them by Zoom or webcam. Yeah. And what's hard for me is I have worked in clinics that will use cat bags and scare the bejesus out of cats, scruff them and pin them down. And I've seen cats where people were holding and just letting them hit their head and they get bloody noses. Like I've worked at some vets that I was not proud of. I didn't stay there long. All you showed was his butt. So the vet I work for, we practice fear-free. So we would rather give a little cocktail that makes them happy and fairly sedate, you know, mellow, a little drunk walking to take the edge off instead of scaring them. And use treats and things like that for reinforcement to show that we're not really hurting them. This carrier is going nuts. This is Charlie. Okay, there we go. He loves this carrier. If you leave it open on the ground, he is sleeping in it most of the day.
It is under.
I know, I see. And so yeah, so he is getting, I am every life. You see what I deal with?
Because people
Oh, because people like her.
on this channel.
So let me make sure he can still get out. I'm going to actually pull up so I can read the comments better. And let's see, pull up my own comments here in my channel. But thank you all for joining me today. Charlie just flipped the carrier. He's a very special boy. Besides just his spinal issues and his tail issue, the ear issues, the head tilt, you know, all that goodness. And Robert Baker, that's what I thought I was saying through my app here, is donated me $20, and I greatly appreciate it.
Thank you.
Could this infection be the reason he had balance issues from the beginning? It could, and I kind of question on if it's something autoimmune with his body just can't fight infection so easily, or if it has been a polyp this entire time, which really can happen. And Ninja Mama says, hello, Fiona.
Yeah. I recognize Ninja Mama.
Poor guy, he has just never been right from the beginning, especially if you saw the video. His eyes were so swollen shut when I first came across, well, Jeremy first came across him, and we couldn't tell if it was from, because he had scratches on his eyelids and his nose and his lip, if it was because someone threw him out of the car and he landed face first and that caused the swelling, or if it was infection causing it and it was just so impacted that pus wasn't actively coming out. Because he started having that within about a day. You could really see the snotty sinus infection. Or it could be a combo of both. You just can't tell. You can't ask a cat, hey, how do you feel today? You got snot up there? Like, so that's the joy of veterinary medicine, is feeling things out. Yeah, we have bad weather here. If you can't tell, I just got a weather alert. And my daughter needs to chill, please. But sorry, I'm trying to read the comments. Where did I find that carrier? I found it on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
And the neat part is, here, I can actually kind of show it. I keep meaning to do a review on this so I can really show you guys. But the backside accordion's open. Oh, there we go. So it can lay flat on the ground. They can have more space. You can stick a small litter box in there, even though, if you see my litter box video, a cat technically needs 1.5 times the length of their body from nose to tail, or nose to butt, length for a litter box. So, whole nother thing. But if you needed to while traveling, you could stick a little litter box in there. But yeah, so Charlie, it's been 6 months that we have been battling this infection, and my gut kind of tells me that there's definitely an underlying cause. It's just not a resistant bacteria. There's something else going on. Being a vet tech for 22 years, you try to follow your gut, you know. Oh, your neighbor's a vet? Well, I do work for a vet too. Again, registered vet tech. But I work for a mobile vet. So the surgeries we do are just spay and neuter for rescue groups. My vet knows her boundaries. It's been many years since she's had a regular practice, and no longer feels comfortable doing stuff like ear polyps or foreign body surgeries, things like that. Our RV that we use is just not equipped. And we also don't have scopes to be able to look in the sinuses and the ears. So a specialty practice that has that is what you need to use. And so we have the basics. We can look at ear swabs and see if there's infection, stuff like that. And she has otoscopes and the fun stuff. But that's just the basics. That's the starting point. For more advanced stuff, you really do need to go to specialists. And yeah, the kitty straight jacket is kind of frowned upon for many of the fear free is what they call it, where you try to calm them versus scaring them, because the straight jacket, they still kind of move. It's a little different when you do what we call a burrito wrap of a towel and hold them firmly. But if a cat starts to struggle, they start to struggle, and it really does scare them. So each time it can get worse, the experience. And that's why we do little kitty cocktails of a couple different medications that just make them feel happy. Charlie is extremely playful right now. He is like
destroying it.
Yeah, he's having a free-for-all over here. But him being so drunk, I don't want to do wand toys and stuff like that, because I don't want him to hurt himself falling over. No, it's not kitty COVID. When I did have COVID, my 2 older kitties did get the sniffles. And of course, in veterinary medicine, we have a form that we look on, and that is the common symptom that everyone sees, is that if the owner of the house or person in the house has COVID, that the cats can get the sniffles. They don't get horribly sick. It's just nose stuff. Yes, little man. My son's over in the corner. You just can't see him.
So when are we gonna get help? Are we gonna feed him? Oh.
He's going off on different subjects. Okay, so my cat never was afraid of plastic bottles until he went to the vet, and I changed vets. Exactly. Find one that is called Fear Free Certified. Gav will talk about it. Gav wants to know about the new house. It looks like in March we're moving, and you'll see a new film studio, and that's part of why, besides having kittens that eat wires.
I
Our
got
Christmas tree this year, right there. It's still the one I used last year that I made. Next year, I plan on making this bad boy out of wood and doing like some glitter paint and stuff like that, and then like clear coating it. That way I can have a Christmas tree climber that's safe for cats. This one's good, but for the 17 pounder on the second shelf here, like
Not so good.
this level right here, it does sag a bit. It does have bamboo rods reinforcing on the inside, but 17 and a half pounds of love kind of makes it sag. Can you make the cocktail, or is vet prescribed? So a vet does have to see them first within a year. Typically, my vet uses for kitty cats is called gabapentin and buprenorphine. So gabapentin comes in a capsule that you can like take the powder and put it into food. That's what I did with Charlie today. And then the buprenorphine is a liquid that it just has to touch the gums, the tongue, the cheek, anything like that, and it soaks in. So you don't have to try to make them drink it. It's just something that has to have contact in the mouth. And it is actually a medication. It's a pain medication, and in high quantities can be used as a sedative. So it's kind of nice. The vet said he was great, which is not the experience we've had. So it's nice to know that he enjoyed his cocktail. Well, thank you for. Okay, Fee Marie, please stop.
Yeah, reindeers.
I know. Every time she moves, I forget what I'm saying. But yeah, so I don't have any decorations on the tree this year. Last year I had a little gnome, stuff like that. They're still up in the attic. I just know that Ellie Mae kills just about everything, and it's just not worth it this year. I want to start getting everything packed for moving versus worrying about the Christmas tree staying up.
I got makeup.
Oh, yes, she has a makeup advent calendar, and no, people, she does not get to wear it out of the house. She will be a teenager before that ever happens.
But I'm wearing makeup right now.
I let her practice.
Yay.
And got here late. So just a summary of Charlie's vet visit. His ear infection came back really, really bad just within 5 days. Monday he was checked and he didn't have an infection in the ear. Now there's pus, and they couldn't see past the pus to see if there was a polyp in the ear. So they're going to recheck him in 2 weeks to verify on their end that there's a polyp before they can schedule surgery. And there's either a polyp or something structurally wrong with the ear, but something is causing the right side of his face to keep having an infection. 6 months. It's never completely cleared up and gone away. And it could just be his immune system. Oh, I look lovely. Actually, I look kind of like a hot mess today. You can't see it, but I tried a new makeup remover last weekend after doing filming, and I broke out in a rash all over my face. My face was on fire up until about today, and now I'm all like bumpy and scaly, and it's disgusting. So I look like a hot mess, but it is what it is. Some days you just go with it. And please don't do that, Fee Marie.
I forgot to put it on.
No. She wants to do a makeup video with you guys. It's not happening. My 10-year-old is not putting on makeup in front of you guys. Yes, they say, remember with makeup, less is more. She's looked like a clown some of the time she's practiced. It's
Yeah, I did.
been very, very special. And let's see if I missed anything.
Hi. Guess who's moving?
Yep, so definitely, if you worry about your cat's behavior at the vet, ask for a cocktail. Most vets do it now. And yeah, that's our summary for today. There's my Christmas tree and my daughter who loves to distract her mother while she is trying to have a coherent train of thought. And yeah, so it's just a nice quick little summary of Charlie's video. And I'm sure most of you know who my husband is, but I'm so proud of him this week. I just have to dote on him for a second. He found this month, within 3 weeks apart, a lady that was missing for 16 years. That was 84 when she went missing. Please stop, Fee Marie.
Why?
because I can't think. And two teenagers, the boy, the younger one, is my age, 38 is what he would be, and the girl was 1 year older. So they went missing 21 years ago while in high school. And he found them in the river. It's just been a very wild ride this week. It looks like he might be in GQ magazine, the New York Times today, the Wall Street Post, People magazine, Brazilian papers, France, Germany, the Netherlands, the UK, Australia. It has just been, oh, Canada and Mexico newspapers and online news. It's just been mind-blowing at all the people contacting him, and it's stuff that he enjoys doing. If you ever watch Exploring with the Nug, he is just, it's his passion. He found what he was meant to do. So I'm just shocked at how much exposure he got this week, and he hit over 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, which is a really big goal, even though he didn't brag about it, but I will for him. And yes, fear-free is a new term to look for. Not necessarily, cat-friendly practices are a good one too, but fear-free, it's a really big thing. And there's even fear-free at home that you can look up too, with things at home that you can work out for your cat to help the environment around the house being stress-free. But I'm going to wrap everything up, and thank you all so much for joining me for this quick little Charlie update and my psychotic daughter. And I will talk to you guys later. And next week, maybe I'll do the bubble backpack for next week's video so you can really see the ins and outs and how it works. So thank you again for joining me.